head over to losingmymind.com to check out our latest song, Genocide. Support our work. Now, onto the show. I want to pull up this tweet. Guys, we need this, everyone. We're going to go through these exercises. The New York Times says elections and anxiety often go hand in hand.
Oh, God.
Here are some evidence-based strategies that can help you cope. Cope with what? Try 5-finger breathing. Trace the outside of your hand with your pointer finger. When you trace up, breathe in, and when you trace down, breathe out.
Breathing like that just makes me angry. Like when everybody's like, somebody's like, take a deep breath. I'm like,
here's what we're gonna see. It's gonna be that woman screaming no again, but she's gonna drop to her knees and go, no.
They're gonna change the commie fist to the 5-finger pointing breathing.
Here we go. Cool down. Listen, no, guys. Plunge your face into a bowl with ice water for 15 to 30 seconds. Yo, what is going on?
That sounds fun.
Dude,
I have troll.
This is New York Times.
New York Times. That's very
Look at this.
Yeah,
Move. Wait, it gets better, guys. Move. Even a walk around the block can offer some relief for an uneasy mind. Here you go. Breathe like a baby. Focus on expanding your belly as you breathe, which can send more oxygen to the brain. Limit your scrolling. Consider plotting out specific times when you will look for election updates. I gotta say it. Elon Musk starts banning a bunch of these whiny lunatics. User growth is at all-time highs, and they're having temper tantrums. I am so happy to see Elon grounding the naughty children because they're children. That's what they are. When I'm watching election results, I'm not crying. I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, this will be interesting. We'll see what happens. When Joe Biden won, I had a video. I'm like, there it is. They've announced the winner. It's Joe Biden. And the left made a supercut of that as if I was crying about it. And I'm like, I just literally said he won. I'm not mad. Like,
right.
What are you talking? Like, you guys are, these people have to put their face in a bowl of ice water right now because of the results aren't even in. And the New York Times is telling everyone, please keep calm down. Yo, in Portland, let's jump to this one. In Portland, they're getting ready. Where's the silly tweet? They're boarding up windows. Look at this video. Here we go.
Back to the office. I noticed that several businesses were boarding up their windows. Now, why would they be doing that?
They're expecting a red wave. That's why.
Look at that.
And the only people that complain are
Look at the
leftists.
banks, Wells Fargo. They're boarding up their windows.
That Rite Aid down there?
Not a bad idea.
Closed. Payless closed.
Wow.
That's their new normal, dude.
Down here.
I gotta retweet this one.
Pretty soon, I bet you Chase Bank over there is gonna board up their windows because you know how some of these people in Portland get.
That's right. The New York Times wants to make sure that you try 5-finger breathing. Dude, this is the problem with the internet. You have with Twitter particularly, you have these journalists who are just like, I'm being harassed. And it's like someone who says you're dumb. And they're just like, someone calls them dumb. So they quote tweet it and they go like, we're in hell. And I'm like, dude, someone insulted you. Have you never been in a city before?
I find that crazy too. Like, or all the people who are like, oh, I get horrible things in my DMs. It's like, okay.
I know,
everybody else.
Who doesn't? You can turn off your DMs.
Welcome to the internet.
That solves the problem in a great,
so funny when people say
way.
they get death threats. Like, that doesn't mean they're credible or that anyone is being serious about
or like
them.
the ones that are like, when people tell you to kill yourself, it's like, oh, okay.
Like, I'm getting death threats.
That's really convincing.
And the problem is,
I'm gonna run and do that.
They
now.
keep pandering to this. So in the past, the advertisers would be like, hey, people are crying to us and they're complaining. And they'd be like, don't worry, we'll take care of it. Now Elon's like, don't care, banned. Shut up, don't care.
Because they're the ones who believe that Twitter is a privilege and not a right. Like, they think that free expression is a privilege, and if you break their rules, you should get kicked off.
No, now it's
being
right.
enforced without a double standard.
But now it's a right. Now the same people that were like, but my private company are like, Elon Musk is a tyrant. Yeah. So here's what happens. You saw everybody changing their name to Elon Musk. You guys saw that, all these actors.
Kathy Griffin.
They did that because someone made the point that once anyone can be verified, impersonation will be a problem. I'll prove it by changing my name to Elon Musk. They instantly get banned, and then they're like, but I was doing parody. It's like, wait, hold on. Your point was impersonation is dangerous and that we can't tolerate it. Twitter has never tolerated impersonation, so they banned you. Now you're complaining you should be allowed to do it? These people are not serious. They are not serious people. They're not arguing any real positions. So I don't care to listen to what they have to say.
Now they're
anymore.
like, this is such a loss for free speech.
Right.
Like they were the champions of free speech all along. And Kathy Griffin hopped onto her dead mother's account.
No.
That's what she did. That's
She
really
hopped onto her
funny.
dead mother's account to impersonate Elon Musk on that account again and get into a back and forth with him on Twitter again.
She was like, my mom won't mind me doing this.
Right?
What's
she thought
her
her mom
mom's
would
account?
like it.
I forget what it
forgot
was.
the
It was
name.
like her mother's name was like Maggie Griffin.
Maggie Griffin?
I don't know if that one has also been suspended since then.
Yeah, maybe. Maggie Griffin Kathy is trending. And Elon.
But yeah, how
Elon
ghoulish,
Musk-
you know?
What is this?
And she's like, my mother would have been okay with this. You don't understand.
Like the severed head wasn't ghoulish enough.
Yeah, she always takes things too far, huh?
She's just gross. She's ugly to look at too. I
My
hate
favorite-
her.
yeah.
Look at this. From the New York Post.
Is that it?
Kathy Griffin uses late
Yeah.
mom's account to evade Twitter ban.
Like, what a ghoul.
Yeah, wow.
The
No
first
consistency at
first
all.
tweet I saw though was funny. That wasn't her, but they were like, "I like a steaming cup of my own urine in the morning."
Elon Musk
doesn't?
said if she really
doesn't
wants her
love that?
account back, she can have it for
Great tangy way to start
$8.
the day.
So what pissed me off about this story is that Elon was giving him special treatment again.
Yeah.
The rules are you can't impersonate if you're verified, period. And so Elon said, no, fine, I'll let you do it as long as you put parody in your name. And they went, no. And then he's like, okay, well, then you're banned. Like, don't give him special treatment. They changed their name to Elon Musk, ban. It's always been the rule. Sorry, goodbye. I think there should be some kind of path to redemption. But as I stated yesterday, I am not going to advocate for any of these people to get their accounts back because they oppose free speech.
Well, that's not free speech. That's like identity theft.
Right.
If
But I mean,
someone's
like,
identify in the real, if you steal someone's identity in the real world, it has nothing to do with free speech.
if someone's house is on fire.
But that's what they've been claiming.
If someone's house is on
They've
fire.
been
and
crying
don't like
saying
them-
I have free speech,
Right.
saying Elon's not for free speech.
If someone's house is on fire and I don't like them, I will call 911 and be like, let's help them put this fire,
Yeah.
even though I don't like them.
Yeah.
If someone is an arsonist and they're setting fires and then they get burned by it, I'm not going to call 911 because they deserve help. I'm going to call it because the fire is a problem and needs to be stopped. My point is, I don't want anybody to get hurt by fire. I don't want anyone to get banned when they're engaging in free speech. But I'm not going to help an arsonist. This is not going to happen. I'm not going to advocate for these people, and it's just not going to happen.
Well, these Skittle people are just a bunch of pussies, dude. I mean, at the end of the
Skittle
day,
people?
yeah, they just the Rainbow Mafia. These are the same people that are running around threatening everyone, threatening to bash your face in, but they can't handle a word. This is why they want to change words. Because
Right.
if you say words that are too offensive, they can't handle it in reality.
That's the
This
thing
is who these people are. They're pathetic. They're pathetic, and they don't represent America. Because if you did, you would be able to stand on your own 2 feet and be offended in the face of anything that opposes you. But they can't
They're
do
children?
that because
Well, the
they're,
other
they're
thing-
children.
They're children.
This is what Kathy Hochul has been doing in New York, right? This is why I think
Boom.
this is what she's
Boom.
been doing. She has changed. She spent all of this energy and money to change the word inmate to incarcerated person in all legislation, as if this means anything at all. Apparently, the word inmate was offensive. But like, if you change a word that you think is offensive to a different word, shortly thereafter, that word becomes offensive as well.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
didn't
in my
even know prisoner was offensive.
inmate is offensive.
It's a never-ending
Inmate
cycle.
is
It
no
will
good.
never stop. They will never
they
stop.
changed all the gender language in the state
I'm
legislature
sure
as well.
that
They
the
spent all of
incarcerated
this time on
persons
this.
really are thankful that she
When
made this
my
change.
son was in like kindergarten, they had this rule that you couldn't say stupid because it would make people feel bad. So the kids started
anti-bullying
So the
stuff
kids started
it was
calling
always
each
a
other.
psyop.
Yeah, it totally is. So the kids started calling each other silly, and then silly became a bad word.
Kids are mean.
and I was
They
like,
like
"This is stupid,
roughing
you
each
guys."
other
Like,
up. Like it's just how
just use the original
socialization
words.
works.
Yes.
Can't say
Anti-bullying was always a mistake.
Anti-bullying is a mistake. And like, as someone who was mercilessly bullied, like you grow
Same.
up and it's fine and you're resilient. Like, suck it. You know?
People
Like,
bully.
well,
People bully.
You know?
Life is hard. It
Life-
builds character. Like, get used to it early.
Yeah, you're
Like,
going to be
real early.
offended. You're going to get pissed off. People are not going to like you. That's what's crazy is these people want to be put on the forefront, like be on the news. They want to be like blowing up on TikTok and social media, but then they get criticized and they run away and claim it's hate speech and put their
Right.
tail in between their legs. Because like I
Well,
said,
you
they're
know
a
what
bunch of
then they
pussies.
do? Then they breathe like babies, right? What was the 5-finger breathing thing you were saying? And
Five-finger
tomorrow,
breathing?
all of these people will have to cope and they will do
No,
extra
they'll start
breathing.
doing that weird.
That's why there's that.
Like that demonic.
That's why the
screaming.
5-finger thing.
Family friendly, Drew.
The screaming is the craziest part.
Like the thing at Penn State.
Yeah, like, are you possessed?
They do
is there
seem
something
possessed.
literally wrong with you? Like,
You know who's remarkably resilient to this stuff is Dylan Mulvaney.
Right? Well, because
Why are you so good at handling the online bullying?
Mulvaney is a
Curious.
performer.
Mulvaney is a bully intending to insult trans people. You will never convince me otherwise.
I don't know about all
You
that.
think it's a put up job?
I think people on the right are so eager to look at trans people as Dylan Mulvaney that they accept what is clearly a troll designed to insult. When a dude when they used to put on blackface, they didn't act like black people. They acted like insane caricatures to mock them. The way they painted their faces. Dylan Mulvaney was for the longest time making social media content, was, I believe, a gay man.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden, all of these videos are just the most insane mockeries of women and trans people.
Well, it's been a great career move.
And Mulvaney's getting praise and protection from it while mocking women and trans people.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that. He's not impersonating a woman.
It's a little
He's
girl.
impersonating a little girl.
Right.
But
So
my point is,
listen, he's not impersonating a female adult woman.
I understand.
It's even more mentally ill and deranged, where he's attempting to be a
mentally
little
ill.
girl.
I think it's planned.
There
out.
are some.
Hold on, no. This is the issue. You fell for it.
I didn't fall for
No,
it.
I've
did
been
fall.
watching
No,
that.
It's
A
insane to me
little
that you
girl.
guys believe this.
It's a little
He's
girl.
taking hormones. He has one breast bigger than another.
But it's just
and he's
commitment
getting
to the bit.
This is
He
an
committed
individual.
to the bit.
All right, what did I fall for?
A guy who wore hiking heels. And you're like, that's a legitimate human. That's a real thing.
No, he's a weirdo that thinks that that's how women actually
He said
are.
guys,
he's performing.
you guys,
He said
you're
he's doing
missing
a
the
bit.
whole
He
thing.
said it.
You're missing
He
it.
said it.
You
He's
guys-
out in the
White
right
House.
He
Yes.
said outright.
Because
people take it as legitimate.
He
Listen,
said
okay.
outright he's doing a bit and performing, and he wants to be a performer, and this is his performance.
He doesn't want to be a performer. He is a performer. This
Right.
was a career move.
It was a
Prior
career
to doing
move, yes.
this, he was doing TikToks where he was interviewing animals as a gay man. He went on The Price is Right and won a massive pool table and had a great time. It was actually kind of a good segment on that show. But this move to be trans, to be like a little trans girl or whatever, brilliant career move.
But
He's
it's-
an
but- but listen,
intelligent, opportunistic gay man.
It's a performance.
He's
as
an
a-
actor. He's an actor.
You
Like,
look at. I
it's
will.
a-
I will cite, as I did before, Blair White and ContraPoints. These are two trans people. One person's left sphere of influence, right sphere of influence. They don't wear hiking heels. They don't flail about and fall down when dragonflies come by. They don't talk about Barbie pouches. They don't say it's time to normalize the bulge. That is not what a real trans person is going around doing. The argument for, so what happens is,
So what you're doing too is you're doing what like the anti-trans activists, the like gender critical people would call giving into the idea of true trans.
what
Which
I'm
is
saying
also
is
its own whole separate weird thing.
we had Blair White on here talking about, actually, when we've had Blair on several times, we've not really talked about trans issues because, I don't know, just we talk about politics.
Well, Blair's a very smart person. so
And
you
Blair
can
was
talk
talking about,
whatever.
like, she said that Dylan is
Legit.
legit. Like people
Right.
actually think, I think it's you're being trolled, but I think conservatives want this to be the caricature of trans people.
Yeah.
They want it to be that way.
Well, it's like that
But
Ontario
like you look at
teacher.
Blair and you're like, why isn't Blair acting like that? Because that's not
Because
how
I
trans
think
people
that
act.
I think there's still like a spectrum of mentally ill trans people, more normal trans people. Like this
There's a spectrum
person,
of how much
this
of it is
person has
performance.
Right, but what you're saying is-
arrested development.
But-
he is still going through like the
But what you're
hormones
saying
and
is-
all the things.
Some people are mentally ill. Some people are not mentally ill.
I think
And
they're
so,
all mentally
so,
ill.
So therefore, you might have someone like Blair, who's a very smart individual and very reasonable, and then Dylan Mulvaney is trans and also happens to have other mental illnesses.
Including arrested development,
I-
stuck in that like.
So do you think
kid-
Dylan is grifting even the
Yep.
left?
I still
playing
think
the
yes.
left.
Yeah,
And you
hands
think
down.
that he got into the White House because
Grifting.
he's playing and
Yes.
grifting his base?
Come on, dude. Normalize
I'm
the
just
bulge.
asking, I'm asking.
Yes.
Yes.
Can we say that
Dylan
he's
Mulvaney-
grifting and still doing it at the same time? Like he's a gay man that probably saw an opportunity by being trans. He's exploiting it, but he's still going through all the things because that's what's going to make him money.
So it's like
All
a
I know-
double. It's
all I
a
know
double,
is-
right? He's screwing women, screwing the trans people, screwing the trans, let's just say trans kids, right? So he's screwing all of them at the same time because
Dude.
he's pulling a grift on all of them. So he doesn't
If-
really care about trans people.
Do we take
he just
Rachel-
wants to be famous.
Do we take
Correct.
Rachel Dolezal
Yes.
seriously? Like, the way I see Dylan Mulvaney would be if someone put on blackface and started running around demanding watermelon and fried chicken. It's like, that is insanely wrong, offensive, and stereotypical. That's not reality. Dylan Mulvaney is doing all those things 10 times. Hiking heels?
But look at these crazy drag queens.
Normalize the bulge. Those are performances.
Tim, don't you think that there is an amount of performance and fakery and non-reality to all transgenderism?
No.
All expressions of it?
What do you mean?
All of it is artificial.
No,
the hormone therapy, the surgeries,
this is
all
why
of the appearance
we'd be,
stuff, it's all artificial and cosmetic. There's a performance
people are trying
involved,
to present
no matter what.
a certain way. So like this is what Blair White was talking about, and it's probably it's Blair's a better person to talk about it than I would be. She mentioned the difference between gender dysphoric individuals and fetishist individuals.
Correct.
And they're not the same.
Right. Can't they overlap though?
Well, anybody can overlap. That's not an argument. You can be.
I'm just saying
you can be a communist and trans person, and you can be a Trump supporting trans person. Right? There's overlap in all sorts of ideologies. The point I'm making, without getting into the greater all of the trans stuff, is that Dylan Mulvaney, I just look at that and I'm like, the first thing anyone should think when they see Dylan Mulvaney saying normalize the bulge is like, this is a gag. This is not real. First of all, we've not seen something like this. It's over the top tenfold. And going into the woods wearing like women's biking outfits and high heels is not a real thing.
I don't think any of trans is a real thing.
But there is
but you
that
do.
transvestic
Like Blair White's a real
fetishes.
person who exists. And
Okay,
like,
I'm not. That's like you're denying our existence. I'm not denying that people who identify as trans are real. I'm saying that the identity is artificial.
what I'm saying is there's not a woman that frolics around in the forest in high heels.
Yeah, he does it like way over the top, and he's kind of blowing his
It's a
cover.
gag. It's a gag.
But there is transvestic fetishism, right? Or whatever you say.
Autogenophilia.
And yeah, right. Yeah. And what that is that they get off having other people see
Totally
them dress
separate
as a woman,
conversation.
dress as a little girl, dress as all those things.
And I think, yes, and I think it's a totally
And I'm
different conversation.
sure that he's grifting off of it, getting off of it. Like if you watch him, because I've gone down like that TikTok like feed.
I look.
Endlessly.
There's nothing indicating that he's having like that. This is getting him off. Like,
no,
why would you
he
even say
talks
that?
about it. He talks about like saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm dreaming about the way this guy gonna kiss me, and he's seeing me as a girl," and like he talks about the stuff. Like you can clearly tell he's getting off on it in some way.
We're not going to solve this now, and we should probably get back to election stuff. But
Yeah,
my point was just
Sorry for bringing him up.
my point was just simply that when a person does as many cartoonish things that insult trans people, and then everyone on the right is like, haha, see, that's what trans people are. I'm like, dude, come on. Like,
I think it's an extreme expression of what all of that is.
I don't like, I guess, but he says he's performing, and he was doing tons of videos as a man, and then all of a sudden starts doing these gag videos. Like, I would say wearing high heels in the woods is a gag. It was a joke. Saying normalize the bulge and then trying later to walk it back after trans people started calling him out. Then he was like, oh no, I was just he put out a video saying like I was just self-conscious and didn't really mean it. And it's
I don't think he's that out of the normal though. I don't think he's over the top.
It completely is over the top. Name another person saying normalize the bulge.
Like when you
Name
go to these
person.
protests, Tim, we were in Nashville at Matt Walsh's thing, and it's all those kinds of people running around screaming, foaming at the mouth, like their eyes rolling back.
So
all dressed the same way.
Yes.
Totally mentally ill.
You cannot
men dressed
say
as full
every
women.
single person.
That's not what I'm saying.
Then-
what I'm
then-
saying
then
is that there still is people in the left that are over the top like that,
Okay.
Tim. On the ground when you go see them and talk to them.
I know for sure.
There's countless
and so the
footage of
issue
these
is
people.
the handful of grifting, fake ideological individuals are not representative of the general public. Like simply put, when you go to an Antifa crowd, you are looking at a group of Antifa mentally ill people. That's what they are, all of them. You don't go around smashing windows and burning buildings down unless you have some serious mental problem. So like, I'm not going to look at Antifa and be like, look at all these white people. Yeah, Antifa tends to be overwhelmingly white. I'm not going to go there and be like, well, white people are clearly mentally ill because Antifa is. It's like, no, those are the unwell people. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.